Hello, world family. Another day of service. My Teresa is right beside me, energetically. I can hear her thoughts. I can feel her close to me. I just made a video for her. Just her. As our conversations go. See, sometimes it's hard for people to believe in that you can speak out. Did you ever recognize that when God was on the ground, the Heavenly Lord was on the ground, He asked many to speak out. But a lot of the times it was His actions to speak out. See, some will say that He used to tell them to be quiet and to not tell anyone. But that was because He knew the storm that was coming, and He did not want them in harm's way. He wanted to be in front for them. But He loves for you to speak out. But He'll do it at a particular time and a particular date. I have a question. In your life, do you feel energy all around you? Everywhere you look and everywhere you feel. Inside you, outside you. Do you realize that Father builds a shield for you, for your life, for your world? See, many people will say they live in their own world. Father builds the world for you. See, when people talk to you about how life is for you and not against you, it is very true. See, you're only equipped for your life, for your world. You're not equipped for the world. The entire world, Father overcame. Father overcame all the problems. All the problems. There's nothing He doesn't control. There's nothing He can't see. There's nothing He doesn't know. Even your free will. He knows it. But telepathic abilities is something Father gives you. It's real. It's not something that you just hear in science. Science will tell you that they know it's possible. Many people talk about how possible it is. It's very real. Teresa and I have been able to hear one another in each other's lives, but we're not in each other's life yet. But we are spiritually, meaning like things that come to me into my world comes from her. Her connection to me. Things that are in her world, I give to her. And back and forth. And we can spiritually have this relationship spiritually before we ever have the physical. That's how much we believe in the Lord. See, we've both been celibate. I don't have anyone in the natural world. Like 15 years. It's not a big guess, people. I spiritually have my wife next to me. Father connects her to me in the most beautiful, sensual ways you can imagine. That without the body. See, I can feel her presence. I can laugh with her. We'll be going through our day and I'll see her. And we'll say something to each other. And it lifts our heart to know that we'll meet each other. See, it's a spiritual connection. Your spirituality is much greater than the physical. If you don't believe that and you only believe in the physical, then you don't believe in God. See, God is spirit. He was completely spirit before He ever came to the physical. He gave you the physical. But He's in control of that. He's in control of all the physical. He can have you feel the most exquisite things to the hardest things. But you have to understand that you're equipped for your life. See, your life is not my life. And my life is not your life. You could say, I don't have any of these spiritual gifts. Everyone does. It's if you want to open up and believe, because see, He won't give these to you unless you believe. Because if He gave you the gift and you didn't believe it and you shunned it, it shuts down in your soul. If you believe that you are a spiritual soul and that you can move mountains within your heart, your third eye opens. And you start to release a lot of karma that you don't need. Father tells you what you need. The Heavenly Lord walks beside you. He walks with you. He walks in front of you. But He is always, always with you. He is always near. See, Teresa and I have had this entire love affair in spirit, which means we've had to believe everything going on in our lives, fix our lives as much as we can, and move forward. We've had to move forward throughout all these years of being together and not be in the physical. It's extremely difficult because everything in our world is rotating around our relationship, and we have to wait. And we both know that the closer that we get to each other, the better our energy is. See, our energy had to move to a certain, what would you say? I would not say location. I would not say a synchronicity. I would say an essence. The actual essence of eternity. See, we had to rise to that. We had to believe so much in the Heavenly Father and the Heavenly Lord to reach that goal. See, He gives you eternity. It's a golden path. But you must work. Your spiritual work must happen to get to it. See, many people will say that the journey is free. It's not free. You have to work. Many people don't want to work on their spiritual work. They want to just stay the same and let it go. Father has all the time in the world to work for you. Work on you. Work with you. Work towards you. You can take any of those variations and understand they're a low vibration of what God is doing for you. God is working in you to make you reach those goals. He's working in you. See, eternity is gold. Do you not think that Father has created a relationship between Teresa and I in the unseen that's gold? We've had massive, massive financial troubles, both of us. And we both know that if we could have got together, we would have been successful. But we're not allowed to do it yet. So we had to go through all our trials spiritually together. We had to work on that spiritual relationship. And He's made it exquisite. We've got to see the most beautiful details of our existence, of how Father is our creation out in the world. He handles every little detail. Every little detail. You can imagine what He has shown us. Spiritual contracts that are beautiful. But when people don't want to do their spiritual work, it's not beautiful. It's damaging and destructive. But He can always turn that around. He can make, it's like what people say to you, take the higher road. Always take the higher road. And it could be the most difficult road you take. But in the long run, it always is best for you. The low vibe is never good. The shallow is never good. Always taking the easy way out is not the good thing to do. Did Father take the easy way out for you? He didn't. He took the hard way. The most excruciating hard way we have all ever seen. And do you understand that in spirit, what people talk about in the Bible spiritually, His spirit went through more than you understand than the physical. See, Father can make you feel things spiritually, way more suffering than the physical. And we all know that. We all know that spiritual suffering. We've seen it. We know how it is. Do you know that this relationship is going to blossom? So I have a question for you. See, on this journey, I actually thought that I was going to have this amazing career. I'm Father's. I thought that I was going to succeed at many things. I was going to succeed at the body. I set out to do it. I thought I was going to build in a career and get to a high level and have lots of skills and all kinds of certifications and things like that. Everywhere he has sent me, that is not what he's had me do. He's had me actually in all kinds of locations you can't imagine, which is like what he does if you think back into the Bible days. You think back to those 2,000 years ago, that's exactly what he did. He sent the disciples everywhere he wanted them to go. It could be in the strangest places, meeting the strangest people. He was using the strangest people. It's still going on today. Do you know that I used to paint? I used to paint a great deal through COVID. And I thought Father was going to bless a painting. Didn't happen. They got painted over by my ex. Then I thought he was going to publish my book, because I found Louise Hay, who I see spiritually all the time. She comes to me a lot. And I thought her company was going to publish my book, and I was so excited. I took all the steps necessary, and Father sent me somewhere else. Now I'm at the end of the journey. At least it feels like it. A lot of pressure was released off my chest on Saturday. It was a huge amount of pressure off my chest. Which is weird, because everything circumstance going on in my life should be very heavy right now. I could list them a mile long and you wouldn't like to hear it. But here's the thing. He could do anything tonight. See, you have to try anything. You gotta remember that Father can bring money to you anywhere, anyhow, any way. He is the way. Money can come from anywhere. Not just when you work for it. It can come from anywhere. I'll give you an example. I haven't met my friend from school many years. Calls me out of the blue. Says, Tanj, I haven't seen you in a while. Now, we haven't spoken in years. We used to hang out all the time in high school. I used to go back to Iowa all the time and see her. She called me up out of the blue. Like, I haven't heard from her in probably like 3 years, 4 years. Calls me up out of the blue and she says, Tanj, I have a bunch of points on JetBlue or something. And she said, why don't you use them and come see me? And I was like, what? See, money can come from anywhere. Father can also bring an enormous amount of money that you can't see coming. Sometimes you can feel it. So you know what I did tonight? I went and got a coffee because I can feel my wife. And she picked the coffee. She's beside me. So I picked the coffee. Picked a little snack. And I went and picked up a lottery ticket. And I just stared at it and I was like, Father could do anything, anywhere, at any time. Not meaning that I want the lottery ticket. I do. It'd be fun. Who wouldn't want the lottery? It's fun. But here's the thing. That kind of money could come from anywhere. He could bless a painting. He could bless my book. See, the book is at the publisher. But I have to pay a certain amount of money for it to get edited because it's a book house. I don't know what he's going to do. I've done all kinds of things to make money. And I'm still having so many financial problems. But recently he has told me I'm safe. To just breathe. I don't have to push so hard anymore. And Archangel Metatron came today. I think he's actually going to take me right to my Teresa. And I'm hoping it's this week. I don't know that. It's just many things have come to pass this past week that don't make sense. Synchronicities started to happen. And little things that I could never find on this journey all of a sudden start popping up all over the where. It's like all over my world right now. And I'm talking about the the craziest things. Say, like, I believe in health a lot. I believe in natural herbs and all things like that. Mother Earth. I'm very into Mother Earth. And I'm very into what it can do for your body. So blue spirilla came up today. I could never find it. I don't know why. I just never could. And I believe that is a very, very strong inside your soul. It can build a lot of health. It popped up and I got to buy it. And it resonated so strongly. The blue looked crystal clear when I bought it. That's what Father can do for your life. He can make it crystal clear. Where to go, what to find, where the treasure is, on and on. He's going to let me know where my treasure is. I'm talking about Teresa. She's my treasure. I don't know if it's going to be this week. But I bought a lottery ticket in hopes that I can. Because I would love to rest. See, on this journey, all these years have passed. And everything I wanted to do is, I'm at the end. It's all I can feel is heavy suffering, but the most romantic relationship with my wife. I wonder if he's going to do the lottery. Now, wouldn't it be crazy for people that say that you can't win the lottery because you shouldn't gamble? Do you understand what gambling is? Gambling is when you're trying to gamble with your life. That you spend so much money that you can't survive. I spent $2. But here's the thing. It's like anything in your life. You can have a degree of your life. Many people have degrees of liquor. Some people can have a glass of wine and they're fine. Some people have 10 and they're not fine. But here's Father. Father turned water to wine for celebration. See, celebration is real. You don't have to drag it down all the time. You can have a glass of wine in celebration. You don't have to have 90. 90 is bad. 1 is good. It's like anything else. You have an addiction of food. Too many is too bad. You have healthy food. It's excellent for your body. Do you understand the degrees? All the degrees? Back and forth, back and forth. You look at everything on the planet, it has a degree. You look at emotions, highs and lows. You look at food, highs and lows. You look at how people view the world, highs and lows. People view vegans a certain way, or they'll view vegetarians a certain way, but you've started to see that on the earth it's starting to pop up. You have different diets now, paleo, keto, all kinds. People go easy on each other. You're allowed to have choices in this life. You don't need to beat somebody else up about theirs. Okay? You have choices, I have choices. I'm not in your life, you're not in mine. But those choices affect your life. So you don't need to spew hate out at somebody else for their choice. That doesn't make them change. All it does is bring more hate to the world. More bitterness, more protesting, more everything that's no good. Martin Luther King gave you guys the most beautiful way to protest, and none of you listen. He did it so peacefully and so wonderfully, and had his platform and spoke out. Beautifully. He would talk about nothing but he was in the most racial existence that we had going on. He took hold of it. And he spoke out about it. But what did he speak out? He didn't call white people horrible names and all kinds of horrible things. He called them his brother. And he wanted to mend that relationship. Now today you hear all kinds of horrible things. What do you think people are going to think about Teresa and my relationship? Are they going to sit there and say that we have a relationship that is gay or bi? Because, see, I've been married to a man, and now I'm marrying a woman. But what are they going to say that when I was a man in a previous life and married to her? What are they going to say when they hear about her side of the story? What are they going to say about when we actually meet one another? Because, see, that day's going to happen. We're going to see one another. We're going to actually meet and see one another. And I'm sure she's doing the same thing. She's telling you all about it. See, we're waiting. We wait on the Lord. But it's extremely difficult. Because we know our energy will explode on the earth when we meet. You know, we want to celebrate just as bad as anybody else. But we know how to do our spiritual work. We know how important it is. We know we're here for purpose and will. We know we must do it. Because there's been many times on this long journey, all we've wanted to do was to be together. And let the chips fall where they may. But Father says this is how it has to be. Go easy on your heart. Go easy on each other. If you disagree with somebody, don't take the statement that I'll agree with you to disagree. It's an old statement. An old statement is, I'll fake it till I make it. It's an old statement. Don't do it to yourself. Don't fake anything. You don't need to fake it. You're more genuine than that any day. Own your light. Own your love inside your heart. Don't fake it. You don't need to fake anything till you make it. You need to try. You need to succeed in your mind, in your heart, that you've already made it. Remember that. Because there are so many man's ways on the earth that drag you down. If you don't feel genuine about something you're doing, change your behavior.